Today is May the 2nd. How did a quarter of all Israel end up outside the Promised Land? Let's find out together as we study Numbers 28 to 32. This week, as we read through the Bible in a year, we're going to finish up the book of Numbers. Today, I'd like you to read chapters 28 through 32. It's just a little bit longer than we normally read, but some of those chapters are repetitious. So, as you read through those chapters, you will have noticed that chapter 28 and 29 have to do with offerings to be presented. And especially in chapter 29, there's a good deal of repetition that's going on there. If you do what I do, I typically will kind of run through those passages. The importance of these passages is it's showing Israel the importance of purity, how to obtain and retain purity before the Lord. When we come to chapter 30, he talks about vows, keeping your vows. Again, this is moral and ethical purity before the Lord. In chapter 31, Moses tells the Israelites, let's take revenge on the Midianites for what they did back in chapter 25, right after Balaam blessed Israel. And it's in chapter 31, verse 16, after Israel went in and Moses had told them, kill all men and women. They killed the men and let the women live. Moses, in verse 15, says, why have you let all the women live? These are the very ones who followed Balaam's advice and caused the people of Israel to rebel against the Lord at Mount Peor. These are the ones who caused the plague to strike the Lord's people. So there we come back and we see that Balaam, after doing what God had told him to do and blessing Israel, he still did what Balak told him to do and had Israel cursed, not by his words, because that would have been against the word of the Lord, but by temptation. So Balaam sent the temple prostitutes to seduce Israelite men, and that caused a plague that hurt Israel. It's when we come to chapter 32 that we get the answer to the question that we started the devotional with. Why was almost a full quarter of Israel given land outside the Promised Land? That would be the tribes of Gad and Reuben, and the half-tribe, one of the family clans of the tribe of Manasseh. In essence, they came to Moses and said, as we have camped here on the east side of the Jordan River, we've grown to like the land. We'd like to stay here. Moses at first said, absolutely not. God has given us the Promised Land, the land west of the Jordan River. Gad and Reuben insisted. They came back and they said, you know what? This is not about fighting. We will go with you. We'll go with our brothers. It's not about national identity. We are Israelites. We will help our Israelite brothers to conquer the land of Palestine. And indeed, in the book of Joshua, they did just that. But then in the book of Judges, when each tribe was to conquer their own land, they went back to the east of Jordan. They said, we'll go with you and fight, but we'll build fortified cities here in the desert, here to the east of Jordan. We'll leave our flocks and our wives, our children behind when we go to war with you. Moses said, that's fine. And as a result, Israel occupied territory both west of the Jordan River all the way over to the sea and east of the Jordan River all the way over to the desert. Like, follow, and subscribe to this devotional on whatever platform you used to listen to it. Email your questions to us at questions@becomehope.com. Tomorrow, we'll ask the question, is it important to remember